Hello, I'm back, and we are going to be looking at some math today. 3-digit addition. Woohoo! All right, so let's do just a little quick review. If you are writing a number and you have to fill out every place. If you have something in the ones, you have to put something in the ones. Then you have your tens, and then you have your hundreds. So what I mean is, if we've got 12, we put the 2 in the ones and the 1 in the tens. Now, it's not necessary to put a 0 in front of it because you didn't say anything in the hundreds. You never have to put a 0 in the front because it will not change the number. But if I have 102, I said hundreds, so I've got to have ones, tens, and hundreds. I have 2 and I have 100. It is important to put that 0 in there because if you don't put the 0, you'll still have 12. And 102 is different from 12. If I had 120, I said hundreds, so I've got to have ones, tens, hundreds. 120. I said 120. It is important to put the 0 because that number by itself is just 12. So you have to put the 0. The 0 is the placeholder. He holds that place. And that's our number code. That's our language for math. It depends on what place it is as to what value it has. So if I put, this is ones, this is tens, and this is hundreds. If I put a 2 in the tens, let me write it different. Let me write it a little slanted so they won't interfere with each other. If I put a 2 in the tens, it means I have 2 sticks of 10. If I put a 2 in the hundreds, what does it mean? I have 2 plates of 100. 2 squares of 100. There's a lot more than just 2 sticks of 10. If I put 2 over here in the ones place, what does it mean? It means I just have 2 little ones. Just 1, 2. So this is how our math language works. We have ones, tens, and hundreds, and it changes the value of the number depending on which place you put it in. So moms, if they still need some help with building numbers with place value blocks, continue doing just 3 or 4 of those each day. And we're going to look at adding problems with hundreds. So they have little lines for you. The first one is 214. I'm going to write that down, plus 132. So it looks like this, and they've got a line separating the ones from the tens and the tens from the hundreds. Okay, so what you have to do is you always start with your ones. 4 plus 2 is 6. Good job. 1 plus 3 is 4. Good job. 2 plus 1 is 3. So what is the number? 346. All right, let me erase that. All right, the next one is 200 plus 300. They've got to separate these and separate these. And then you draw the answer line and the plus sign. So what do we start with first? Ones. Always start with ones. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. Easy so far. 2 plus 3 is 5. You got it. 500. So it seems like it's going to be pretty easy, huh? You just always have to start with the ones because eventually what we're going to learn is carrying. If the number you add up is too big for the ones, what do you do with it? So we always start with the ones. Number 3 says, what is this number? 325 plus 100. Let's add the ones first. I'm not going to draw the lines. 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 1 is 4. What is that number? 425. 425. Very good. We'll do number 4. 110. That's 110 plus 20 Let's add. 0 plus 0 is 0. We started in the ones. 1 10 plus 2 tens is 3 tens. So far we've got 30. 100 plus nothing is still 100. What is the number? Can you say it? 130. Very good. All right. It says use the clues to picture and write the numbers. Oh, it says 100 less than 300. 100 less than 300. So if I drew a number line and I counted by hundreds, I started at 0, 100, 200, 300, 400. Let me draw my line a little bit longer. All right, so there we have it, a number line counting by hundreds. So go to 300, that's where we are. We're at 300. It said 100 less. So we have to back up a group of hundreds. So let's hop backwards one hop. And what do you have? 200. So put 200 in the box. It's the next one. I'll give you just a second to write it. It's 200. Are you looking? Are you on number 5? Are you paying attention? All right, let's look at number 6. It says 100 more than 300. So we've got to go forward because we're going more. So if I start at 300 and I jump to the next one, what do I end up on? 400. You've got it. So write 400 in the box. I think a number line is maybe the easiest way to understand those. So we just did a number line. And we counted by hundreds because they were counting by hundreds. So the number in the hundreds place changes. So let me just draw you a little quick picture here. Well, this marker is deciding it doesn't want to work. 100, 200. Can you count by hundreds with me? 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. What comes next? 1,000. Yes, after the 900s, you have to go to a new place value called thousands. We'll find out what 1,000 looks like. All right, so when you are doing more or less by 100, the only number that's going to change is the number in the hundreds place. It doesn't matter what these numbers are back here. If you're counting by hundreds, only the number in the hundreds will change. So it wouldn't matter if you started at 331 and you went forward 100, you would just say 431. If you went forward again, you would say 531 because only the number in the hundreds place needs to change when you're going up and down by hundreds. Let's look at problem number 7. Point to number 7 right here. Juan gave out 212 flyers, those are little pamphlets, for the Easter service. Maria gave out 124. How many flyers did they both give out in all? What are we trying to do? They were giving out pamphlets. And do we know how many Juan gave out? I'm going to put J for Juan. He gave out 212. So let's just take it apart. He gave out 212 flyers or pamphlets. And do we know how many his sister M, Maria, gave out? Says she gave out 124. All right. Now, are we going to be adding or subtracting? How many flyers did they both give out, or did they give out in all? So it wants to know this person Juan, this person Maria, how many in all? How do we find in all, or the total? You add. If you need to find the total of two things put together, dump it all in the bowl, you're going to add. All right, let's add. 2 plus 4 is 6. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. All right, we've already talked about in all. We've already talked about sum and total. That's why I'm not going into more detail here. But if you need more detail, you can text me and I can go over it with you. So they handed out 336 flyers in all. Now when you're setting yours up, you're going to put 212 over here. And Maria gave out 124. And then you're going to add it up. Okay? You're trying to see if you can write big numbers. Turn the page. Oh, look at what they've got us doing here. Use the clues to picture and write the numbers. So you're going to have to pay close attention. We're on number 1 on the back. Number 1. It says the number is, what is the number? 128. So they've got 1 plate of 100, 2 sticks of 10, and 8 little ones. What would 1 more be? If you just drew 1 more little 1 on there, if you took 1 step on a counting line that was counting by ones, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128. Yes, 1 more would be 129. So let's see if we can draw that. A plate of 100, 2 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 more makes 9. Okay? Draw that on your paper. $129. All right, the next one says there will be 10 more. So we're going to draw it first. We're going to draw 128, just like the picture. There's 100, there's 2 tens, and there's 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 128 drawn in the box. Now it says add a stick of 10 more, because it says 10 more, so I'm just going to put 1 more stick of 10 down. Count it up. It's 100, 110, 120, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138. It is 138. Okay, because the original number was 129. Okay, now it says 100 more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, it already had 128, so I draw 1 plate of 100. I draw 2 sticks of 10. And I do 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 128. Now it says 100 more. So I'm going to put another 100. And now it looks like this. You could do this with place value blocks too. You could lay out 128 with place value blocks and get 1 more 100. Now count it up and see what you come up with. Remember, when you're counting by hundreds, only the 100 place changes. Alrighty, do you have what I have? 228, because we have 100, 200, 210, 220, 228. So instead of 128, we added 100. We have 228. You could also do it like this. You could also add 100 to 128. So 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus, let me do it on the board. Oh, this marker. It's not working. Let me see if I can dip this. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a regular marker and I'll wipe it off later with something else. So you could add 128 plus 100. This is another way you could do it. Okay, so now we got to add our ones first. 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. It's another way you can do it. Use your adding skills. All right, the next thing we got to do. Oh, that's not coming off. I'll get some alcohol and get it off. The next thing we've got to do is circle the number that matches the clue. Oh, I love this. This is like a little game. So we're on number 2. Get your eyeballs on number 2. It says circle if it has 7 in the ones place. So where's the ones place? You should know. We have a 701 and we have a 407. Which one of those numbers has 7 in the ones place? 407. 7 little ones in that number. All right, I want you to do the rest of those by yourself. Now on right beside it, point to number 5. Number 5. It says mark the value of the underlined digit. So what do you see underlined in the first one? 628. What is the underlined digit? 8. Yes. Does that mean 800? Does that mean 80? Or does it mean 8? You've got to know how our language on our math works. It goes ones, tens, hundreds. It starts ones, tens, hundreds. It is 8. Very good. All right, see if you can finish those. And look at the bottom. It says count by tens. Write the missing numbers, draw the tens and the ones to picture each number. All right, so if you're counting by tens, what number is changing? The number in the tens place is changing. On the first one, there's 5, so it actually has a 0 in the tens place. The next one is 15. It has a 1 in the tens place. The next one is 25. It has a 2 in the tens place, but the 5 stays the same because we're not changing ones, we're counting by tens. What will the next one be? 5, 15, 25. Write it down. See if you get what I get. 35. All right, because now we don't have 3 tens, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. You see how I drew it? 5, 15, 25, 35. All right, so the next one's going to have 1 more 10. So instead of 4 tens, how many is it going to have? 1 more. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. 5. I'm going to have to draw my ones beside it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like this. What is it? It's... I see what I did. I am so sorry. I did 4 for 45. I'm going to mark one of those out. It's 3 groups of 10 for 35. It's 4 groups of 10 for the next one. So what is it? 45. I got a little ahead of myself there. There, I fixed it. Okay, 4 groups of 10 has 0 groups of 10, then it has 1 group of 10, and then it has 2 groups of 10, then mine has 3 groups of 10, and my next one has 4 groups of 10, and your next one's going to have 5 groups of 10, then it's going to have 6 groups of 10, then it's going to have 7 groups of 10. So you're counting by 10, so you're increasing the tens place each time. Okay, that's a wrap. So the next thing we have to do is we're going to do geography today and science. So I will be back in just a minute. Let's see if I can turn you off.